a music creator, you can, you can shed, you can have jam sessions, you can at will just practice on your own and hone your skills and work things out till they're perfect. And whereas chefs really rarely get a chance to do anything but knock it out the park, like the first impression is usually the lasting impression.
It's like the last canvas.
Yes, it really is.
But even better than any other kind of art because you get to have a multi-sensory experience with it, you know? You don't just get to see it.
Yeah.
There's definitely an aspect of the chef that is being personable and being able to not just cook the food, but to speak about it in a way that is entertaining.
If I was comparing it to an art form, I think there's an improvisational quality to it. So I would say sort of like jazz.
It's a blank canvas. I've made this dish and I've practiced it and I'm very happy with it. But when it goes out to the diner, what my favorite things to do is I will watch how you eat it. I will watch how it makes you feel or how your face reacts to it. And so it's about giving them that plate, the best thing that I could do, but then also adapting to what their needs are because food is subjective. And at the end of the day, I want you to walk out very happy. So my favorite thing to do is drink and then eat kind of like drunk food and stuff. So I figured I'd start everyone off with basically my version of deviled ham. So it's chopped up country ham. We toss it with creme fraiche, a lot of mascarpone, tons of black pepper. It's like pimento cheese but made with ham, essentially. And then we have a sauce that is like a Comte and cream cheese sauce, essentially. So you could drink this or just pour it on noodles or just do whatever the fuck you want with it. Pour it all over your body, whatever. And then we made big crackers. So it's essentially just like a big ham and cheese sandwich. So, it's really simple, and it's finger food and kind of get in there and get sloppy. And I think any food that you can eat with your hand kind of automatically breaks the ice almost. Like, I don't know who's coming, fancy people, non-fancy people. But at the end of the day, I want everyone to kind of get in there and feel like a human being, And any party that you get people to eat with their hands right off the bat, I think is a good party.
I love it.
Oh, my favorite tool are my hands. I carry around tweezers and spoons and we all have our knives and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, give me my hands and I'll do anything with them. I'm a very tactile kind of person and I just go around groping people too,
These are my favorite tools in the kitchen. Tonight I'll be serving a West Coast octopus. I'm gonna crust it with some Egyptian cumin that we ground up. I'm just gonna give it a little sear and then slice it thinly. I chopped the head of the octopus. It's gonna go inside the salad with pickled peppers and the millet couscous. And then we're gonna garnish with some green cauliflower and shaved Meyer lemons. So we freeze the Meyer lemons, we shave them super thin, and then we take the byproduct, the trim, things that people normally throw away, and then make a little tea out of it and then pour it over the top of those shaved lemons. There's tons of octopus out there, and before they were just slicing them up and throwing them back out for bait. But we utilize everything. We try to cook with ingredients that are forgotten about, ingredients that kind of freak people out a little bit, but I try to make it appealing to them, like, hey, you should try it. Give me one chance, just try it once, and then you tell me. If you don't like it, then it's fine. For me, music kind of stimulates me, and so I look at artists like Otis Redding, and I get inspired, it kind of get my juices going when I listen to Otis.
Ludovico, who is a pianist, amazing, absolutely amazing. One of my favorite things to do is listening to him and typing out recipes. It gets me in this groove.
Willie Nelson, he's utterly original. And that's what I like about him. He's always done exactly what he wanted to do, the way that he was going to do it.
What I'm making for the event tonight is a glorified cup of soup, basically. So in Thailand, ramen, instant ramen is kind of fetishized. So there's a particular brand called Mama Ramen. And Mama, when you say Mama in Thai, it's the same thing as saying a Kleenex when you're referring to a tissue here. When you say I'm having a bowl of Mama, that means you're having instant ramen. And in Chiang Mai, there's a woman who's been doing a Mama Ramen based noodle soup for about 25 years now, starting in a small cart. Now she's got a brick and mortar in a funny little neighborhood. And I took that as an inspiration to come up with a version of it. You know, for the event, what I've done is I've kind of pre-assembled everything in these nifty little cup of soup containers. And when it comes time to serve, we're going to add some fish sauce. We're going to add a little bit of tamarind pulp, and we're going to add pork stock to it, and then we're going to crack a poached egg into it.
It's all right? It's all right? Spicy?
Yeah, hell yeah. What is it?
So the broth has tamarind in it.
Okay.
And it's got some dried chilies, and it's got some fish sauce.
Nice.
You got shrimp, yuchoy. You got a little bit, like, this is like instant ramen, so we got like a little touch of the instant ramen packet seasoning in there because that shit's got MSG in it, which makes everything taste nice.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a high-low thing, you know. We're taking the lowest common denominator, which is a cheap packet of noodles, and then we're kind of adding a bunch of stuff to it so that it's more compelling, and it's based on something that exists.
I got into Thai food by traveling. I traveled as a backpacker in Thailand in the 80s, and then I went back again in the early 90s. And so my entry into the Thai food world was very local. I basically had to learn by going and watching people do things. You can't really understand a dish without understanding where it came from.
I actually studied interior architecture and design before pastry. Yeah, it gave me a better sense of color and scale and balance, and so anytime I'm approaching creating a new dish, of course I'm thinking about flavor, but also the presentation.
In my opinion, cooking is less art and more craft. You have to know the product you're working with. You have to prepare it carefully. You have to assemble it correctly. There's a certain amount of aesthetic importance to making a piece.
And also, you just have to go with your gut feeling. Like, does it look like something that I want to eat? So tonight we're doing something fun. We're doing push pops, and I have a few different flavors of push pops. And we've got lots of different dippers. So the whole idea is to take your push pop and dip the end of it in any one of the dippers that we've got, take a bite, and then with your next bite, try something different and dip it in something else. So every bite is a sort of new experience. I really wanted something interactive. I think at the end of the meal, you really get a chance to have fun and play with your food, and this is like the ultimate play with your food dish. I think what really helps me in developing a dessert is, of course, listening to the customer. You know, I have to be savvy to what the public wants, and I also have to sort of satisfy my own need to be creative and to push some boundaries.
The biggest thing about cooking is having a foundation, so you learn traditional methods of how to cook and how to create classic sauces and classic dishes, and then that's the importance of you becoming a chef. You figure out how to put your own spin on things, your own take. You figure out who yourself is as a cook and how you want it to be presented. I kind of live by a little hashtag be different. That's our hashtag with the restaurant, and it's like, I try to have my own spin and do my own thing with my own food.